What's up, everybody? It's your friend Isaac from Big Bike BMX, and we are back for probably a different episode than you are used to seeing from us. We're not actually doing any type of interview. I wouldn't even call it, Craig, would you call it? I wouldn't even call this a review. Maybe it's
I don't think we're calling them interviews anymore. We're just bro convo.
It's kind of a review, but it's kind of it's a review because I want to know more about this, because this stuff is magic. But I've got my good friend that I worked with for years at my day job. And he is a former professional skateboarder on the show tonight because I wanted to get his opinion on this product too. So we're lucky to have a professional voiceover artist. I call it artist. I don't know if that's the correct term, but voiceover actor, artist, whatever. Mike Hathcote. Mike, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
Good, man. It's good to see your face.
You too, sir. It's been a
without
while.
A mask.
Without me, hey, I've got my mask right here. If you want me to put it on, I'll do it. But I won't.
No, we're good. Mike and I teased because I was just over his house a couple days ago and we were both masked up. So, Craig, but you've and we all just met. So, Craig, do me a favor, introduce our guest because I can't wait to get this started.
Yeah, no problem. You know, Isaac, we were the other day just talking about, things that are going on with us, especially as we creep up into a certain age group. I mean, mentally, dude, I can tell you I'm still around 17, 18, 19, somewhere in, mentally around there. So,
right. I fart in the bathtub, dude. So
I know. I mean, we do so many things alike, dude. I can't believe it. But one of the things that both you and I, and I'm sure we're going to hear a lot from our guests tonight, we're starting to feel certain things going on, some cricks and kinks and all kinds of just things that say, hey, dude, you are at the point where you may or may not want to pay attention to what we're trying to tell you, bro.
Right. And dude, right? Mike knows all about this, dude. So Mike, this is kind of funny. So Mike actually had a pretty serious injury to his knee. Well, the next part is funny.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I was like, is this how the funny part starts?
Yeah, right.
No, so Mike bails in a bowl. And absolutely, like, I don't want to gross anybody out, but it was a pretty bad injury to his leg. Comes to work and he's like, dude, this is what happened. And I'll let you describe it, Mike, in a G rating.
Sure.
But I'm going to skip to the end because this is the funny part. So Mike finally got titanium screws removed from his leg. And I think they might've put new ones in or something. I don't know, but he comes to work and he goes, dude, I'm getting my screws out. And I was like, that's dope. And he had them, and my kids came to visit for lunch. And he gave Bodie, my youngest of the twins, a titanium screw, and he like just hands it to him. And he's like, Bodie's like, at this age, I think Bodie was like 6, 7, maybe. And he just thought it was cool that there was a giant screw. Like, I mean, because it's big, right? Now, this is titanium, dude. He's like, that's cool. And then Mike goes, that was in my leg. And Bodie's like, oh, that was inside your body. And he's like, yup. And Bodie was like, this is so cool. We still have it. He still kept your titanium screw.
I got the rest of them in the file cabinet over here.
Right. If any other kids want to have a titanium screw that was in Mike's leg.
Right.
But,
right.
Listen, without further ado, I want to get our guests on board. I want to introduce you guys as we're talking about all these crazy things that are going on with our ailments and things that we've been through. Here's a guy that we have on the show tonight that we recently met because he's got an incredible product. He's got an incredible thing that he's doing, all stemming from his own experiences with what we're talking about. And I want to introduce everyone and all the listeners at Big Bike BMX, as well as you guys, to our special guest tonight, the guy who is the brains and creative guidance and the CEO and whatever else we can introduce him as.
Insert cool title here.
Insert cool title from a company called OldBones Therapy. We have Mr. Brandon Fields on the show tonight. Brandon, welcome to the show, man. So glad to have you here.
What's up, guys? I am stoked to be on. First time I've been on a video podcast ever. So I'm excited and terrified all at the same time.
But, we'll sit back and relax, man. We're going to have a fun time. There's going to be a good conversation. So Isaac, as we're talking with Brandon and especially with Mike here in your experiences, I mean, let's kick this off, man. What are some of the things that you want to start out with and get our guests going with?
Yeah. Okay. So anyone that listens to the show listens to a good example, like we were talking about, like our wheelie videos, how to wheelie for like dads and stuff like that. One of the things we always talk about, Craig and I both have injured knees after lifelong BMX riding. And dude, everybody I know that still rides, so many of our fans of the show, we're all in the same boat, man. Like things hurt, even if you haven't had a major injury. Like I've dislocated the same knee 3 times. The first time is when that's the time I always blame RL for. Another time I was being stupid and playing beach volleyball. And the third time was just a couple years ago in my own swimming pool, which sucks. You ever dislocate a knee, you don't want to do it inside of a swimming pool when you have to swim. It sucks. So my knee is jacked. And we were talking about like doing flatland tricks and stuff like that. And what kind of stemmed this was I was like, Craig and I talk a lot. And so we were talking off of the podcast. And I was like, hey, dude, I'm going to go practice some tricks. And I was like, my knee hurts. It was just starting to get cold in Arizona. And I was like, man, I was like, dude, do you think I should wear my brace? And you're like, yeah, you probably should. And I put my brace on, and I have a traditional brace, which has the metal pieces with the hinge in the middle. And I put it on, and I bent down to tie my shoes. And I was like, bro, I was like, I don't have the mobility. Like the brace stops my leg. And so I can't even pedal my bike in this brace. So I was like, dude, I'm just gonna have to raw dog it and just ride normal and not have anything. You know what I mean? And you're like, good luck, dude. But there's something about mentally, I have a mental block because I'm afraid of not having stability and that injury. So it holds me back mentally when I'm trying to do something. And Craig, we talked about it with wheelies. For you, it's with wheelies, right?
Yeah. And I had this, I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about because I use the same brace. I have, about 1.5 years, 2 years ago on a ride, I actually blew out my MCL and ICL, my medial cruciate ligament and my anterior cruciate ligament. And so what that does is it basically comes around from the back around the front of the knee and holds the kneecap in place and stuff. There's a lot of things going on. So I got that robotic brace just like you did.
Yep.
And, it was like at first, just trying to walk for several months was hard. But when I decided, I want to get back on the bike and ride a little, that brace not only, I mean, it was hindering, but I thought, this is going to offer some type of mental stability, or, it's going to give me that boost to feel like, you can go out there and ride, you're protected. You got metal and bars and hinges on you.
Right.
And it just really wasn't, it did provide that, I guess, for a minute, but I ended up stopping because I think it gave me too much of a confidence thing where I was like, I might be pushing it too hard as well. So
sure.
There's that, right?
There's so many things, dude. You can't wear pants. You got to wear shorts.
Very limiting.
I mean, yeah, dude, it's just like, there's all kinds of like, which, hey, I live in Arizona. So wearing like jeans when I'm riding is not a big deal. But when it starts to get cold, man, it's like, do I want to ride and wear a brace, or do I want to actually be comfortable? Because what's the other enemy of, like, Mike, what I'm talking about? Like those cold days, dude, if it's cold outside and you're trying to ride, dude, it's like when you hit that magic 40 plus number in your age, it's hard to like get moving. And it just, I mean, I'm sure a lot of our fans relate to what we're talking about. So I'm going to fast forward to how I came across OldBones. So I'm on Instagram. I see someone posting a picture with their OldBones knee brace, and they're like, dude, this is legit. It doesn't limit, and it works. And I'm like, too good to be true. I was ready to call BS on it. And so, I was like, Craig, like I instantly text Craig, I think I just grabbed Brandon. I grabbed your profile on Instagram, excuse me, and just sent Craig the link to your Instagram so you could see like, OldBones. Like, dude, look at this. I think I might have found the Holy Grail.
It's funny you say that, because it's like I get a ton of customers and just people that reach out to me, and they want some sort of proof that like, hey, what are you selling, and does it work? And I'm just like, dude, just go to our Instagram page. It's
right.
like, yeah. I think it speaks for itself. It's like we just have so much user generated content now from so many people that are just, ripping at their age and whatnot. Pros, ex-pros, just whoever. And
Yeah.
it's just pretty cool and humbling. So
That's rad, dude. I mean, Craig, what was your first impression when you saw it, like the Instagram?
Well, I mean, for me, it was seeing one of my buddies promoting it. And so he and I have virtually almost the same injury. His name is Jerry Loera. And Jerry was like,
Shout out to Jerry. I know you're talking about.
shout out to Jerry. No, he was just like, I'm swearing by these, you know, and I have a feeling like my circle of friends, when they say something's legit, I need to look at it and check it out, especially when it comes to something to help me with, you know, staying healthy, managing injuries, and being able to continue riding as long as I want to, you know, with some type of help from a product like OldBones has put out. So, you know, Brandon, that's one of the things that was like, when I reached, and I'll tell you this too, Isaac, when I reached out to you, Brandon, it was literally, I wanted to like make it quick and short. So I didn't like, you know, bug you or make you think like, hey, here's some dude that is trying to, you know, get a free sleeve or something. I mean, I really wanted to see what your product was about. And before I reached out to you, it was like, I had to go through your website. I want to look at who you got, you know, promoting this stuff. Is this being used by people who are active? Are they, you know, what the deal was with it? So like, how did you, from your background, if you could share a little bit of that with us and just tell us like how you went from being a skater or action sports and what caused you to like go, I need to like make something for injury prevention or at least management, and then get that product out to the masses.
yeah, sure. So you know, I've been a skateboarder pretty much my entire life. I'm 48 years old now, and like a lot of people, you know, I wasn't, I guess what you would say, good enough to be a professional at what I did, you know. So I ended up going to school and studying computer science and basically, you know, sitting at a desk as my career for the last 30 years, you know. And so you know, basically all the years being hard on my body. You know, I'm an old school vert rider basically. So like I like to ride vert ramps and more bowls nowadays as I get a little older, because I'm just more into like carving and grinding. But
I
you
call it
know,
the animal chin generation.
pretty much. I mean, I grew up on Animal Chin and Pal Peralta and all that. And I mean, you know, in a way, our company name is a throwback, you know, like the Bones Brigade, Old Bones, you know, it's kind of, you know, so, you know, for me, like I have a lot of aches and pains. We have a crew of old guys that are, you know, even older than me in their 50s, and some guys even in their 60s that are still riding. And like, I mean, dude, we're just constantly at the skate parks, just, you know, moaning, oh, our back hurts or our knee hurts or something. And I had always,
I slept facing the wrong way and now I can't move today. That's my story, you know.
pretty much. I mean, the stupidest things take us out now, you know. It's like I just bent over to grab a freaking puzzle piece off the floor and it was like, oh, what did I just do to my back, you know?
Right.
Yeah, me and Isaac were talking about that. I was like, Isaac, you ever have that moment when you like sneeze and your back's out, you know? And it's like you're right, you know, from you skating at the skate park or on a vert ramp or whatever, it's like you understand that, you know, you're getting older, things are gonna start feeling sore and bones are gonna hurt and your back's gonna feel a certain way. But it also seems like after you get home too, there's this like 2 or 3 day period where you're like, I'm gonna be sore, I'm gonna feel this, and
So yeah.
you know what I'm saying, Brandon?
Dude, I know exactly what you're saying. So it's funny, like I said, you know, I'm in my late 40s now, but like when you're younger, you're just invincible. Like, I mean, I could just huck my body off at anything when I was younger. And I mean, you take some pretty good falls and slams and you just kind of shake it off, right?
Yeah.
But I swear, like everything was pretty much going all right with me until I turned about 44, 45. And it was just like, things just, you don't recover as quickly. Like, you know, yeah, it's just brutal.
Well,
So.
not many people, I would think. Okay, I don't survey a lot of folks who go from like action sports into creating their own line of therapy products, but I would think that most people would be like Isaac and I, right? And I'll speak for you, Isaac, but it would be like, what's out there that we can use to help us with our ailments or to help us prevent having an ailment because we feel these things coming on, right? You actually took it a step further. You created a product based on your experiences, based on all the things that you were going through. What background did you have for that? I mean, did you did you just Google it, or did you have some experience with therapy products?
That's a great question. So it's funny, man. I have wanted to start my own physical product type business for many years now. And, you know, my background's in software engineering. So I know how to build products as far as software is concerned. And so I know how to iterate on that and to prototype and to build products in the software industry. And so just having that itch to want to start my own company and do my own thing led me down the route of like, I just started reading books on, you know, entrepreneurship and like listening to podcasts literally about like, how do you create a physical product, you know? And so like, the more I learned about this, it was just like, everybody kept saying, you want to find a problem that you have and find a solution for that. That's not out there. Or if it is out there and it sucks, how do you make it better, you know? And so I like to tell people like, I'm not like some super genius product designer or whatever, but I do know what hurts on me. And I do know like when I see something, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. And I'm able to iterate on things and improve upon them because, you know, that's just kind of how I operate. And so in the early days for me, I was coming home from the skate park and every time my back is just killing me, my lower back. I got degenerative disc disease in my lower back. So, and slip discs and all that. So like I'm constantly icing my back, but I'm tying up these gel packs and towels, trying to wrap them around my lower back, cook dinner, whatever. They're just slipping, sliding, popping out. And I'm just thinking to myself, dude, there's gotta be a better way than this, right? So what do I do?
I'm laughing because Craig and I always talk about like, Craig and I, we have a tagline, tell mom to get the peas, get the peas. Where's the peas? Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I, dude, yes. Dude.
I mean, that's literally how OldBones Therapy started was I needed a way to secure an ice pack to my back. And, you know, I didn't have a name for it, but I just knew there had to be a better way. And that's when I started iterating. Like I said, I was interested in starting my own physical product business and I just started learning. And I'm like, okay, I knew I wanted to get some sort of belt or brace that had a pocket that would just hold the gel pack. And it had to be a big gel pack, one that would like cover my whole lower back. Right. And, you know, and then I had to learn like, okay, you got to reach out to suppliers. And of course, you know, you start pinging suppliers and like, oh my God, it costs how much to prototype that thing? Or, you know, and then you pay $300 to get something prototyped and they ship it to you. And you're like, well, this sucks. You know, I gotta go back to the drawing board.
Yeah. One of the things that, you know, I look at myself as more like a 40+ year casual rider. So you know, I never really considered myself like trying to go pro or do anything. It was just like, I've been riding since I was a kid. So I've put decades and decades on the bike and even on skateboards. I had many, many years where it was like, I skated a lot, but someone like you, Mike, like, you know, you've been skating your whole life too, what it sounds like. But you were at a higher level. I mean, you were at a pro level. So like what would a product or what products have you used or how would, you know, you consider like something like OldBones has to be like something that you could integrate into your riding day after day, pro level, you know, really putting in some hours. Was there something in your career where you had ice packs, gel packs, anything, or were you doing anything after your sessions to alleviate pain or any issues you had?
You know, I really didn't start having to use that stuff until I was far past my prime. I'm basically the same age as Brandon. I'm 49. You know, growing up skating and stuff, like he was saying, you just throw your body downstairs or I was a vert skater too. So I used to get, you know, skate lots of vert and stuff back in the day before the skate parks, the resurgence of the skate parks. And so didn't really have much, but then like he said, you know, you hit 40 or even a little before that and things start to ache and creak and pop, and you know, you start to feel it a little bit more. And I always used just the stuff that was out there. I mean, I wore the Smith the knee gaskets. Remember those, Brandon? I wore those. I wore just, you know, rector pads and stuff like that. And then I would just, as far as icing and stuff after a session, I would just just wrap it on with a, you know, an ace bandage or something like that, just to keep it on there. But yeah, I mean, and of course, Isaac mentioned this before, having lots of injuries. I didn't break my first bone until I was probably 25, but I've broken 12 since then. And so, you know, I don't bend anymore. I break.
Yeah.
And it's funny you said, like, so the knee gaskets that are super popular with everyone now. It's like, I didn't start out, that wasn't what I was going for. I started OldBones Therapy out for my back.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like how we spent our first couple of years, was like, as a company, was trying to sell lower back braces that had an ice pack for them. But like you said, I mean, when I was 16, I was cutting off my sweatpants, wearing those as like knee gaskets under my knee pads.
Yep.
So, you know, I've used all the neoprene ones over the years, and you know, we all know those get super sweaty and they tend to stretch out over time, and you got to get a new pair. So like, I just borrow ideas. Like, I saw these runners were wearing these knitted ones, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, knitted compression. And like I said, like, these ideas aren't like my ideas. Like, I see what everybody else is doing, and I try to improve that product. Right. So I'm like, I'm literally at the skate park. I've gotten on Amazon. I've bought like 10 different brands of knitted compression sleeves. Right. And I show up to the skate park and I'm just handing them out to people. Like, you know, my buddy Fedge, I'm like, hey dude, go do an invert, put these on, you know. And it's just like, everybody's giving me feedback. Oh, hey, these are rad, you know, like. So that's how we got into compression sleeves, was kind of just by accident, you know.
Well, I mean, Isaac hooked me up last week with that pair, and I looked at him, I opened him up, and I was just like, wait a second, this looks like a sweater. You know, I'd never really seen that kind of stuff. I was like, how is this going to actually work under a pair of, you know, 187s? So I put them on, put the pads on. We have our regular Sunday session, skating and stuff. And like he said, I've had 3 surgeries on my left knee and just all kinds of stuff. And so, I was amazed at, number one, how it kind of felt like we'll call it a warm hug around my knee. Right. And it just kind of felt like it was just helping keep everything together. Right. Cause I've got a lot of movement, a lot of mechanical weirdness in there. And so
yes, dude. Yes.
it just keeps everything like right in place. And it does help boost your confidence a little bit. I mean, I don't know if that's dangerous or not to kind of boost your confidence, but at our age anyway, thinking you can do stuff you can't really do.
You're absolutely correct. And it's they actually, people ask, like, how does this work? Right. And so compression, which I started learning about with the back braces, they're compression back braces, right? You have pain in your lower back from like a slipped disc or something. You put compression around that thing, and all of a sudden you're just like, whoa, how come it feels better? And there's like an interesting thing that happens with your body. And you said it feels like a warm blanket or whatever you said. It's like, there's a thing that they call proprioception, that in your mind, you feel comfortable, and like, it just makes you feel good. Right. Mm-hmm. Clearly there are scientific benefits of compression, increases your circulation, you know, helps if you have it to hold things in place. But there definitely is a mental
well,
issue.
It's like, it probably goes along with the same, like when you swaddle a baby, you know, you wrap them up tight, and it's supposed to calm them down and stuff like
Great
that.
point.
That's probably something about it too.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys what we're talking about. I'm gonna show you the knee sleeve, and this is, I put 20 miles on this on my bike this past weekend. It is literally just it's like a sock, a thick sock, but it's like a sock. Now, there's some cool things in here that I want to point out that makes this better than anything I've ever tried. First of all, it's not neoprene. And so if you are like me and Mike, who live in a very hot climate, I can go outside in neoprene for about 20 minutes before you start getting what's called a heat rash, and it'll burn your skin. It hurts. It's awful. So can't wear it. So those braces are out. I'm going to try and turn this inside out, and right up here, if the camera catches it, you'll see some bumps, and these are little rubber. I would call them, because our audience is BMX, if you remember the Haro or the JT gloves when you were a kid that had the little bumps on the pad of your hand so you could grip the grip, that's lined on the inside here on the first, like, say, I don't know, inch, half inch. So that holds this in place. So when you're pedaling, the sleeve doesn't like slip down your leg. Then you've got your kneecap, your patella goes right in here. This is the warm hug that Mike is talking about. This donut here. And then you also have the back, it's tapered and it stretches, and it basically just fits really snug on your knee in my case. And man, there's something about it. It made everything comfortable. Maybe forget about my knee problem, and I could just focus on riding and having fun.
You know,
Very
and
good.
that's a good point, Isaac, and I wanted to touch a little bit more on that, because like I mentioned earlier, with the injuries I had on my knee, my kneecap was going out of place. I don't know what the medical term for it is, but it wouldn't stay in line. It wouldn't
tracking.
It would, yeah. The tracking was off. If you want to, thanks, Mike. If you want to put it that way. So I'm going to show the knee brace too. So that little disc, the little disc that Isaac mentioned, this area here, with a gel padding in it that's almost like an oval shape. There's padding around here, and in the center, basically it's just back to the sleeve. But what that did was, for me, was that actually centered my kneecap. It, like Mike said, it kept the tracking correct. I was having problems with when the tendons would not fail, but they would have their issues. My kneecap would move. So that was keep my kneecap in place. Right. And I put about the same miles that you did, Isaac. I put about 15, 20 miles already on the sock, but, or the sleeve. And I guess if I'm looking back to what I said earlier with the knee braces with the mechanical bars on the side and stuff, there's no center support for the knee. There is those bars help that knee from swaying or moving back and forth, right?
It keeps the top and the bottom of your leg in place, but it does nothing for your patella.
It does nothing for it. And most of the bands that I've worn in the past are neoprene, like you mentioned, but the knee is always cut out in the center. So it was like, that wasn't helping either. And definitely those rubber bumps on the inside, keep it. That was one of my biggest problems, was that the sleeve
fall down, dude.
Would fall down. And it was almost like I was wearing socks.
Yeah.
You know,
on my old knee brace, I'd have to cinch up the brace so tight. And then it just, because I have a ham hock of a leg, there's no reason that brace isn't just going to want to like migrate down my leg as I'm riding. So I'm constantly pulling it up. Mike remembers this back in the office days where, you know, we'd sit down, and both of us old guys, man, you'd walk by and like Mike's desk faced the door, and he had like his X Games trophy. He has an X Games trophy, dude. Mike,
nice.
Real quick, Mike, show your skateboard deck before I get too far. Okay. This is kind of dope. You have to talk though, so the camera takes it.
Okay. Can you see that? So
keep talking.
All right. I'm going to keep talking while I'm rolling this thing down here. That's actually a shot that was taken in my pool, and they just converted it to the graphic for the board. So can you still see it?
Yeah, that's dope, dude. Okay.
Anyway.
So Mike and I mean, you'd walk by our office, dude, and we both have our leg, like a leg up on the desk, right? And it looks like we're just chilling, but it's really like, that's how we got down. And that's how we got through the day. But yeah, dude, the bumps on these, like Brendan, there's nothing. I tried to find something that I could complain about and say like, well, it's all right. But dude, the knee sleeve, perfect. And then I quickly want to get into something else because I want to wear it, because I have two main pain points. When I talked to Brandon the first time, I was like, I have two problems in my life. I have, I've never been diagnosed with tennis elbow, but from years of holding a handlebar and compression and absorbing and ramps, you know, I feel like I'm educating Brandon and Mike a little bit on BMX culture, because where you absorb a lot of your shock in your knees and your ankles, Craig and I and the rest of our fans, people that listen to our podcast, it's a lot of elbow, is where you compress, and that's where you generate a lot of your momentum. If you're riding a ramp, you compress in. Same thing on you do for an ollie. We're doing the same thing with our arms. My elbow sucks. And so I've gone to Walgreens and CVS and bought, like you did, Brandon, I've bought a plethora, I'm using big words, a plethora of apparatus to try and help my elbow feel better, because it sucks. Because my day job, I sit down or I'm at a standing desk, but either way, my arms are at 90 degrees and I have to type and move my mouse and type and move my mouse. And even that, dude, if I have an inflamed elbow, it starts to hurt. So Brandon hooked us up, and you guys, this is not an advertisement for Old Bones. It's been paid or anything like that. Like, we got hooked up with some product to try out, but this is not a paid. This is like, I legit believe in this, or I wouldn't be having this conversation with you right now. The reason we're doing this episode is because I was like, I told Craig, I was like, we have to get this guy on the phone, because I cannot brag enough about this stuff.
Yeah. And it wasn't a, you know, like you said, an advertisement for it was really just like a PSA saying, hey guys, we're not the only ones. 'Cause we know there's probably a plethora, there's your word, out there of guys out there going, I need something to help me out. I want to continue.
You don't have to ride hurt. You don't have to ride hurt.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. So I'm going to quickly, Brandon, make you feel awkward, because I'm going to talk about how much I love this stupid sleeve.
That's our elbow sleeve there.
This elbow sleeve is magic, you guys. What I can, there's basically a gel pad that's the shape of a lima bean here and here. And this is what made me believe in this stuff, because the night I got the package from Brandon. I told him the two things that hurt, my knees and my elbow. He sent this. And so I did two things that night because my elbow was jacked. I've got pain relief cream that he sent. And this is what my old go-to was. This is Tiger Balm. Those of you who are our age know what this is. And I was so out of Tiger Balm. You can see how empty it is. I set this under my monitors, so the heat from my monitors will melt it and get it into the corner, so I can get just a little bit. And I'm out. And this works for about 20 minutes, and then it's gone. So I'm going to show you what I do. And you guys, this will save your life. You grab a little bit of this cream, rub it on your elbow. My spot is on the outside. So I rub it in, and it's not greasy, which is the biggest thing, dude. Tiger Balm, if you use that stuff, absolutely ruins your pants, and your wife's going to get super mad and say, you've been wiping your greasy hands on your pants. And you're like, I wasn't. And then she'll show you the laundry, and then you have no repercussions. So you're going to be in trouble.
My wife is sitting here cracking up right now.
I'm just saying, dude, like, I'm just saying, like, I cannot get away. She's just like, enough of the Tiger Balm. Like, rub it on your socks. Rub it on your socks. And I'm like, I did. She's like, it's on your pants, dude. So this here, I've been dying to, you guys, I awkwardly transitioned into this only because I needed to get some support, because my elbow is killing me right now. So line it up. It's got, I don't know if can you see that? It's got these gray guidelines right here. I call it the dummy positioning track, because I don't know how high to pull these things up. So I line up that with the ditch in my arm, and it's golden, dude. And I can't tell you how good this feels. I've been waiting. We're about 30 minutes into this podcast, and I've been waiting 30 minutes patiently to put this on, because you guys, my elbow was bumping. And so instantly you put it on. Instantly you put it on.
You got two things working for you there. I mean, you got the compression, right? And then the little silicone gel strips, those are adding pressure points that are helping your tennis elbow. And then you got all the goodness that we put into the pain cream. So
okay,
underneath that.
So there is tea tree in here, and I mean I can't read that, but My wife read it to me, and I read tea tree, and I was like, that's what I'm feeling. It feels good. And it doesn't stink like Tiger Balm. Like
Well,
Mike
yeah.
and I used to laugh because people come in the office and they'd be like, and you get that like stink face, you know what I mean? Where people are like,
So
Tiger
it's a
Balm.
fine balance, right? And
Yeah.
so like I make products that I want to use, you know? And so things that I don't like you mentioned, is super greasy, oily balms that you put on, right? Because then like for me, I'm at my computer all day. So like I can't have oil and stuff on my hands because it's getting all over my keyboard. You know, and then other things I like are like natural ingredients, like, you know, the tea tree oil and like the arnica, which I call, you know, hipper cream, you know, which helps with the bruising. And, you know, it is going to have a little bit of odor, right? Because it's got menthol in it. That's what's giving you like the tingling sensation, right? But like, it's not overpowering. And like you said, it soaks into your skin and you could just get right back at it. And yeah,
You guys, it's magic. I was just going to tell you it's magic. I so wholeheartedly believe in this. I call it a system because I do a system. I put on the cream, put on the sleeve, put on the elbow, put it on when it hurts. My knee brace I put on when I'm going to go ride. And it just, I wore it Saturday and Sunday. And you guys, I will tell you, I'm a firm believer in this. And I wouldn't put my name behind it because you guys know how to contact me on Instagram. So if something sucks, you would be the first to be like, dude, why did you make me spend some money on this? Why did you talk me into this? I wouldn't do that. I swear to God.
Well, Isaac, one of the
work, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, exactly, dude. And one of the things, bro, we just got this system from Brandon a few weeks ago. I mean, like, but within you and I talked, and then within the first, I don't know, 1 to 2 times we used it. I think the first night we both used it, we called each other, and Brandon, Isaac, and I were like, dude, I'm already feeling the difference. I mean, I can already tell there's some benefit here, and we just continued using it. So rarely is it that you use something that, you know, it's kind of like you have to progress over time to tell if something's having a difference, or, you know, it's like, okay, I'll get home, I'll wait 2 or 3 days. Am I as sore as I was if I hadn't used it? You know, is this making a difference? And like him and I called each other legitimately and was like, this is making a difference. So
yeah, I wasn't like my knee. I got back from that 20-mile ride where normally, I'm gonna be honest, you guys, like this is behind the scenes of like Isaac's life, but you may see me on Instagram out doing wheelies and having a great time doing tail whips and all that stuff. But there's a price that I pay for that. I come back and I have to watch at least like 2 true crime documentaries to get through the rest of that moment. You know what I mean? Where I'm just like laying down and like, you know, Craig will call and it's like, you know, like I kid you not, Craig and I talk a lot, you know, and he called me and he's like, how'd the ride go? And basically that's code for, did your kids make it? Did they complain the whole time? I'm like, no, dude, we're good. And I was like, dude, I left the brace on for, and there's no like instructions. I left it on for the hour afterwards. And then I put like so there's a neoprene ice pack that Brandon has that it literally, like what you were talking about, Brandon, the ice pack fits inside that ice. Okay, Craig, hold the ice pack up and talk.
yeah, so this is the one Isaac's about to tell you guys about. This is the hot cold gel pack. So I mean, it's even cool. It's got the blue on one side and then red on the other with the instructions on the pack. So you can actually, if you want to heat it, here's your instructions for heating it. And if you're going to be using it for ice, same thing with the ice on the other side.
Yeah. Okay, so here's where this thing gets kind of magical to me again. I am no stranger to ice hot. You guys, if any of you that are listening, Mike, I know you know this too. The ice and you ice it, you heat it, you ice it, you heat it, and it's like, I think it's what, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. That's great when your physical therapist tells you that's what you need to do. But in reality, your ice pack doesn't last 20 minutes, especially after you've been riding. Like you put your ice pack on and you have a good 10 minutes before it's a puddle. And now again, you have to lay down and put a towel down on your comforter, or you're going to get your wife yelled at. She's going to yell at you for like getting like water and
condensation.
condensation. Thank you, Craig. Big word.
I'm cracking up over here because it's like you're describing myself. Like, these are the problems that I had. Like, I'm wrapping an ice pack in a towel. It's not insulated at all. And it's like, I want to ice for like 45 minutes, you know. It's like, I don't want, you know, the ice to melt. I don't want it to be warm 10 minutes later. I want it to stay as cold as possible for as long as possible. So
dude, get this.
Neoprene.
This ice. Yeah, this ice pack has been sitting room temp, or at least in room temperature, and it's actually cold to the touch. Like, it's colder than the ambient air around it. So I'm like,
yeah,
I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to on the knee therapy system, because I'm going to start doing the heat and ice thing. And like you guys said, you know, with me, Isaac and Brandon and Mike, it's like the ice packs that I use, and I'm just being honest, man. I friggin' use ice packs that you would put in like a lunch box, like a
yes, dude, the blue igloo ones, right?
Yes,
from like your kids lunch. Or whatever.
Yeah, they're like wrapped in some Mylar or something. So it's like, those are frozen. I'm trying to mold them and shape them around my knee, you know, and it takes a while for those to like really set in, but I've got them wrapped in either an ace bandage or a towel. I'm always having to lay on a certain side so the thing doesn't slide off, right? You know, yeah. I'm just like, I can't even relax, bro. I'm just like, it's crazy.
Frozen peace, baby. Frozen peace.
Frozen peace,
frozen peace, man.
I've got them.
So like you mentioned, like, you want something that's going to conform to the shape of your body. You don't want this block of ice that, like you said, you got to prop it up on the couch or whatever. You're trying to get it in just that right spot. And yeah, it's a fine line.
Yep. So tell me, like, so we're recording this on Zoom. Do you mind doing a screen share and bringing up your website and showing us some of your products that you have? I can do it, but I think if you drive it, I think it's even cooler.
Sure. Absolutely. Give me 1 second and let me,
I should have told you, hey, dude, by the way, we're going to have a Zoom and you're going to screen share, and please show us your stuff. Mike, and while he's doing that, Mike, do you wear pads on top of your
always,
sleeves,
yeah,
right?
I always have to wear pads, at least knee pads. And of course I broke my right wrist twice last year. So I've always wear wrist guards. Those are the two must haves. Everything else, you know, maybe optional, but these days I'm pushing 50, so I need to pretty much pad up all the way.
Yeah.
Hey guys,
Mike,
I gotta quit the app, restart the app because I didn't have a.
Oh, here, I'll share it. Don't even trip, dude. I'll share.
Isaac can share it.
I'll share it, dude. Hold on. Give me a second. And basically, you guys want to see this? It's OldBones Therapy.com. All right, so I'm going to screen share real quick. There we go.
Bucky.
That's Bucky Lasik. Lasik.
Mike, I look to you.
Lasik.
Okay.
Bucky Lasik.
All right, so here's the back braces. I'm probably gonna order one here in a second. But I'm gonna go over here. This is where I started. And so I have wore this. The ankle compression sleeve also has a pad that I'm tracing with my mouse here that goes around, and that's the inside bone, technical word, the inside bone, and then it has one that goes on the outside bone of your ankle. Good news is you can also wear Etnies with this, and it doesn't jack up your shoes.
So for skateboarders, and you'll have to correct me for BMX guys and bikers, but like skaters, our boards are constantly hitting us in the ankles.
Shark bite. So
I put those silicone strips there because when you get, shark bite, basically, it's like any little, you just barely touch your ankle, like with another foot or something, not even your hard board hitting it. And you're like, you're in excruciating pain. So it's like, I need to put that silicone padding right there and protect against the shark. But I don't know if that would help with the BMX guys.
I believe it helps everybody. Here's the thing. I used to tattoo for a living, and everyone's like, I'm going to get a cute little tattoo on my ankle. Everyone always says that. I'm going to get a cute little butterfly. I'm going to get a cute little dolphin. I'm going to get a cute little hibiscus plant. And you guys, that hurts. If that area right in here on your ankle, I mean, I would rather do my taxes in the DMV than stub my toe or hit my ankle. Like anything with your feet,
there's no
dude, it
meat
sucks.
there. There's no meat. It's just bone and skin, and it just
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. That's God's way of saying, hey, I'm here. So when you hit it, you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
He just reminds you that he's here. Hang out on the side a little bit. You get a coupon. So this is the other thing I'm super interested in. The shoulder wrap, because it works.
I modeled for that photo, by the way. I just
Good job, buddy. Good
Yeah.
job.
There you go.
I was like last week I took that photo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I modeled
Right.
for the guy with the shoulder thing.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, here, this is more me right here. Like, this is me, like that feminine figure. That's me. So the shoulder pad though, it's what I think is so dope about this is it works for the left and the right. Trust me, I read all about it. I can't wait to try that. Here's the back brace we were talking about. And then the gel pack, basically inside here is a sleeve that's on the inside of this brace. You'll see it if you go to the OldBones Therapy site. I clicked around and I found a YouTube video that showed you wearing it and showed you how the pad slips in there. So you can see some how-to videos on this. But man, legit. This is the therapy system that Craig and I were talking about with the gel packs. And so inside of the knee pad, inside the back, right here's the inside the hole for your patella. On the back side of this, the gel pack slides in, and you can wrap it up and just lay down, watch some true crime documentaries. You can watch Night Stalker on Netflix right now, #1 trending show, and watch that, and you can ice your leg. Here's the elbow sleeve that I am absolutely in love with. Love that. And then how is this different here? This OSFA back brace? What's that?
That's our one size fits all back brace.
One size fits all. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of a paneled situation where you can make it longer or shorter.
Oh, very cool.
Panels. Yeah.
I'm a fat guy, so I like that. I need these right here are my love handle extensions. I like that.
There you go.
And so the other thing that I've used and personally believe in is this pain cream. That's the stuff I just showed you. Love that. Big fan of that. So that's the oldbonestherapy.com website. That's where you can find Brandon's stuff. And then where's your Instagram? Here we go. This is the Instagram we were talking about, and you can find lots of cool stuff on here. And if you're looking for a corporate medical website, just don't even click that link. If you want to see rad people shredding and ruling, this is a great place to go and check out what's going on.
I got a question. What's up with the insoles? Is that a new product you just haven't put on the site yet?
No, it's on the site. I'm a software engineer. I need to update my website a little better because clearly yeah. Anyway, it's an insole. It is a new product that we just came out with a couple months back. Again, I just have needs that, like, I'm always bruising my heel. I always feel like I need a little extra like cushion on my old knees. So, I just started prototyping and testing out a bunch of different insoles and figuring out what I liked and didn't like. And this one here gave me, arch support and a little bit of extra protection around my heel area. So, we came out with an insole. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Is it just the typical trim to fit your shoe?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
Boy George Strait thinks he's work and he can verify. That's going to get a little like from me. There you go.
Great name, by the way.
Yeah, dude. Like, you ever sit there and think, man, I wish I would have thought of that.
Yeah.
We're like constantly thinking of new products and new ways to just help people. And I mean, it's kind of endless. Like, when, I started in back braces and then I got into compression for my knees. And then it was just like, okay, well, let's do elbows, and we're working on wrist sleeves right now. I'm trying to get those just right with just the right amount of padding, So
look at Mike's face right now. Mike's like,
yeah.
Go on.
You see that big old, you probably can't see it.
Yeah. That's Jocelyn that you're looking at right now on the
Dude,
on the
shout out to you for supporting the women in our sport that shred. I love that.
Oh my God, she freaking rips on a.
She does.
Yeah.
Absolutely does.
Um,
Here's Mike. This is the video for that
Yeah.
insole. So
Might have to look into those as well.
I am too. So I'm gonna stop sharing and we'll get back. Mike, show us your injury on your wrist. Let me see it.
Oh, well, it's actually almost healed up, but I had last year, I broke that radius in my pool on Easter. And then fast forward 4 months, I was down in Tucson skating an indoor ramp and fell on it again and re-broke the exact same bone with wrist guards, by the way, wearing wrist guards both times. And the second time I was like, forget it, just put in some aftermarket parts. And so they're speaking of those titanium plates, I've got one in there now.
Ooh,
But
that's hot. Hold
You
on, I'm taking my
always-
pants off.
do you
I was
always
like,
wear wrist
Can I
guards?
get it? Can I get one of those screws then?
yeah, I'm leaving these in, by the way.
I'm trying to make a necklace. You know?
What'd you say, Brandon? What were you going to say?
I was asking do you always wear wrist guards?
I have to, because if I fall on that again, I'm going to kill myself. I
Yeah.
can't go through that stuff again.
It's really interesting because like we're prototyping, we're working on our wrist sleeves right now, and it's like I'll take the prototypes to the skate park and I give them to people to try out, and I learn things from other people, which is that I never would have thought, like, that's not how I would use them. Like, I would just use it as a sleeve, and if I fell on it, okay, I hurt myself. But for me, I don't like those plastic like things that protect you from breaking a wrist, right? That you have to wear. And but like I gave it to my buddy and he's just like immediately put it on. He's like, oh, this feels great. And then he starts wrapping his normal wrist guard around it. And he's like, oh my God, this feels great. And I'm like thinking to myself, I didn't even think of that,
Well,
Or
it's the
never
same
thought of
concept as the knee
Yeah.
sleeve, right? You put the knee sleeve on, you put the knee pad on, you put the wrist sleeve on, you put the wrist guard on.
Yep.
And like my wrist guards, I don't use the kind that you can probably imagine, which is the hard plastic on the palm and then the one that goes down the back of your thing. I use Pro Design wrist guards, and I don't know if you know who Wild Bill is from Texas, but he's been making them for 30 years or something like that. But they've got a little different system in that the plastic piece that comes on your I think we just lost Brandon. He
Yeah.
froze up and dropped off, I think.
That's all right.
Anyway,
Yeah, he'll tap back in.
yeah, the plastic thing that goes on your palm is actually a softer, more pliable plastic that actually has a little bit of a spoon shape to it.
Yeah.
So Brandon's back.
Sorry about that,
There
guys.
he is.
So the plastic piece though, has kind of a spoon shape. So when it takes the impact, it goes whoop, and it does a little flex. So it
Oh, that's
takes
cool.
a lot of that energy out of the impact. But I also wrap that up with some tape just to make sure it's nice and tight now. But if I had something underneath that would work as a gasket and keep that wrist guard just on there,
Yeah.
beauty. I love
But
that.
yeah, and plus, like you guys that skate, like Isaac said, a lot of you're taking a lot of your excuse me, your absorption of the energy when you land through your ankles, through your knees, your hips, your back. We add the wrists in too, because we're holding on to handlebars. So when we land to flat, like if we're doing an air and we come down flat,
Shock.
we're taking the shock exactly in the wrists as well as our ankles and knees, predominantly. So to come out with something for the wrist, not necessarily, a rigid, I don't know how you're going to incorporate your wrist sleeves, but I would think that I would use them if they had some support around the wrist for doing exactly what I was talking about.
We're basically just doing a compression, like
Mhm.
sleeve. Your fingers go through and your thumb sticks out, and then right in the palm area, we just have some thin silicone padding.
Perfect.
You just
Yeah.
still grab and
little extra padding. Yeah. This is my go-to thing. When I fall, I instinctively put my hands out to like brace my fall.
yeah.
I shouldn't do that. I should go to my elbows like most other vert skaters do. But
So speaking of going to your elbows, and you mentioned Wild Bill at Pro Design.
yeah,
I'm a huge fan of Pro Design. So it's funny enough, I had a pair of, I wear Pro Design elbow pads. I had those things for like 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Finally, my wife is like, you need a new pair. Those things smell, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not kidding. I had those things 10 plus years. So like,
They
just like last Christmas or whatever, she got me a new pair. And yeah, I love my Pro Design elbow pads.
Yeah, they're built to last. Those wrist guards really, I mean, it's a cool design the way they've got that softer plastic in it, so you can still move and grab and grip your board. But if you take the impact, it does most of the time.
Bikes have the same problem, dude. Because like so if I'm doing a trick, right, and I'm going down and I'm going forward, I'm usually at a pretty decent speed. And so instinct, just like you did, Mike, your hands go out, or you have to jump over the handlebars. I have to clear all this metal and spinning spokes and pedals, and then try and hope that my legs can catch up. Like, let's say I'm going over the handlebars, right? I have to hope I can catch up to however fast I was going, and then keep my momentum going. And honestly, usually I get about a half a step, and then I'll go, and then hands out, right? And just, then it's like, okay, we're done. Get the piece, right? So I don't want to ride no more. I'm done. So I mean, this is something I think all of us could benefit from. It's not just a skateboard thing.
Well, you know, and Isaac, to the point, one of the things that I wanted to bring up was that here we are talking about things that we can do now that we're older and we're feeling things a lot more. I mean, we all agree. We all here have said, yeah, dude, we're getting older. Things are hurting more. And that's just, there's no contest with that. But one of the things that I was talking to Isaac earlier about, Brandon, was that
I know where you're going. This is perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it really is these types of products, especially the OldBones Therapy products, are something that the younger guys can get into. Mike mentioned it earlier that he really, you know, he's worn pads and stuff his whole career, but never really was icing his joints or, you know, putting on the therapy creams and stuff like that. I think that this is a perfect opportunity for dudes who are, and or people in general in our sport, to start wearing this stuff now, to start using the therapy creams and the supplements and the sleeves and everything that you have, because I think it can make their I won't say their career, but the passion that they have for either skateboarding or motocross or BMX.
Yeah, don't be us at 50. You know what I mean? Like you could have a better 50 than I'm having if I would have took care of my joints when I was.
Yeah, dude, it's like a
25.
complete lessons learned conversation. It's like, guys, if you're out there and you're a younger dude or a younger female out there, you know, just doing your thing, start wearing this stuff now. You know, it's like preventative maintenance.
It's longevity. It's longevity that you're looking for. So that's, yeah. And there's a lot of stuff I wish I'd done, you know, cautionary tale. I wish I'd stretched more when I was a kid or younger, right? But hey, better late than never.
Yeah. 100%. So, I think, you know, at this point, like, I mean, Brandon, I promised you an hour. I've already gone over that by about 10 minutes. Dude, I really appreciate you coming out. I was so stoked to hear your story, because I was like, how did this guy make this stuff? How did this happen? And hearing your software background and you know, A/B testing and all this stuff that's so familiar to me in my tech background and Mike's tech background, and Craig, not in a tech background.
Not yet.
We're getting in there, but hearing the iteration and the testing and the prototyping and things like that was just, to me, it was fascinating, because I was dying to know how this stuff worked. You know, because I've spent so much money on just, I mean, what you got to think when you walk into Walgreens, you walk into Walmart, and you're like looking at a brace, because there's 2 times in my life that I buy braces. At the hospital, when they just put my stuff back together. You know, they just get done shoving my kneecap back together, and they just wrap you up and send you home with a $2,000 neoprene sleeve. And the next time I do it is like, because it hurts. And my wife's like, I got you, babe. And she'll go to Walgreens or Walmart or CVS or whatever, insert your local, you know, like corner pharmacy, and you buy a brace, and you look at the picture and you're like, man, I think that's going to work. And then you drop down your $30, $35, and a wing and a prayer, and you go home and you're like, it kind of works. And maybe you're not like me, but like, it's like 50 to 75% of it's placebo. And I'm going, it works because I paid $30 and I want it to work so bad. But I'll be honest, man, like what I bought for this was like it was literally like a little band. And I'm like, well, the product page says it works for this. So maybe it's not tennis elbow. Maybe I have something else going on because it didn't work.
So you're like, I don't know, you hit on so many things there, right? Like, first of all, you go down to your local Walgreens, CVS, whatever, you walk in there and you look at this wall of product, right? And like when I started OldBones Therapy, I'm like, none of these products speak to me. Like, like I'm into extreme sports. Like, I don't want the Ace bandage. I don't want this stupid generic Walmart sleeve, right? Or whatever, right? I want something that's like made by people that are like me, who do things that I enjoy to do, right? Like, man, I'm into surfing, skateboarding, like I just started dirt biking like 2 years ago. Thank you very much. Like 2 years ago, dirt biking, I'm like, why have I waited till my late 40s to start dirt biking? Like, I love it. Like, I just want to, sorry guys, I can't go to the skate park. I'm going dirt biking today. It's just like,
and everyone's like, fair. That's fair.
That's fair, right?
All right, he gets
Valid.
a pass. He gets
Valid.
a pass.
So I do understand what you're talking about holding those handlebars, because I'm holding a 230, 40, 50 pound dirt bike, going trail riding for 4 or 5 hours. I come home, my wife's cracking up. I'm just like, I can't move, I'm like crying and, everything just hurts. And yeah, so, but yeah, you bought the little tennis elbow thing, right?
Yep.
But
yeah,
that's just doing the pressure point. You're not getting any of the compression because there's no sleeve. So like, I take ideas that I see out there. I'm like, how can I make this work for me? And that's what I do. And I don't know, like I just do weird shit sometimes. Pardon my French, but it's like that Hawaiian shirt. I created that shirt because I'm like, I just want to create a cool shirt that I could put on and go rip out on my dirt bike, and like that Hawaiian shirt's got skulls in the background. I'm like, OldBones, keep ruling. Like that's what I'm gonna do,
Well, I think that's one of the most fascinating things that you talked about tonight. It was like, hey, I've got an issue. I need to use some ingenuity here and come up with something that I can use for the way I want to, have it work for me. And that's like one of the best ways, in my opinion, to approach an issue, to come up with a solution is what's going to work for me. Because if it's working for you, Brandon, and you're doing the stuff we're doing, the dirt biking, the skating, surfing, BMX, whatever, it's probably going to work for a lot of other folks too.
Dude, Craig, you're preaching right now. Keep going.
That's my hope. It's just like, I'll create a product and I'm kind of like rolling the dice because there's a certain amount of investment that I have to make. And, I work a day job. And that pays for a lot of the OldBones that you see, right? My day job is what started it and what keeps it going, Like,
no, totally.
I haven't quit my day job yet. I'm still just trying to roll any profit I make, expand our product line and just do wacky stuff like hats and shirts. And I don't know if people are going to buy the stuff, but I just know that I want it. So I'm just like, I hope someone else wants it,
Dude, totally. I get it. It's like one of the things when Isaac started this podcast and asked me to come on as a co-host, we just came up initially with this, not a mantra, but it was just like our motto. It's like, we're just going to have fun and we're going to do the things that we want to do, talk about the things that we want to talk about, get the guests on that we want to experience talking to, because it's interesting to us. And hopefully others out there will be like, that was cool. That was badass. I found value in something, and we're doing it continuous to this day. Even having a guy who has a company that has a physical product that helps you
not hurt
your passion. Yeah, like not hurt. I'm like almost finding like a lack of words for this, but it's like, this is the stuff that breeds ingenuity. It breeds solutions, or at least keeps a bunch of older dudes out on their skateboards or on their bikes. Yeah. And we can keep the stoke alive.
I can't tell you guys how, it's tough running a business on the side, right? like I'm online a lot during the daytime for my day job. And then, you know, evenings, mornings, weekends, I'm working OldBones. And there's been a lot of times that I just wanted to quit. But like, oh man, you'll just be having the worst day ever. And then you just get a message from out of the blue from somebody. It doesn't even matter who it is, but it's just like, hey man, I just wanted to let you know I got some of your products, and like seriously, you just helped me in so many ways and I can't thank you enough. And it's just like, it's so humbling, and it's just like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. Just keep it going. And I don't know. That's
Dude, I couldn't agree more. Like I just casually posted a picture on my Instagram of me riding with the sleeve on. And I was like, you know, basically I think I was like, yo, these are magic. They fucking work, right? It just works. And so reading the comments that night got me so stoked, because, you know, you have like Jerry tapping in and going like, yo, dude, I swear by him. My buddy B Reed was like, dude, I can't live without him. And I'm like, man, I wish I would have known about these just a little bit sooner, because like you don't have to ride in pain. So here's my challenge to you guys. If you find a product that you believe in and it makes you better, tell your friends, get out there and promote that stuff and talk about it and share it, because like, you know, that's how we're going to get better. You know, if someone's innovating something and it works for you, tell your friends, man. It's just a simple thing to do.
Well, on top of that, Isaac, you know, sorry to interrupt, but tell your friends and also communicate back to the company.
Yeah.
Let them know, hey, this is working, or, hey man, I got an idea. Why don't you know, this would be cool if you did this, because my experience with it is I would love to have a gel pad on this side of the sleeve, or whatever it is, right?
Give feedback.
Yep. I'm listening, you guys. So like when you send me a message on Instagram or email me or whatever, I listen to people, because it's like I said, I don't always have the best ideas. Like so many times I prototype something and someone starts using it in some other way, or they tell me like, hey, this is what I want. And I'm like, oh, I never thought of that. So I'm all ears. Tell me what you guys want.
Yep. 100%. So Brandon, thank you so much for coming out. Please tell your wife thanks for letting us borrow you for this hour and 18 minutes that I've kept you. I feel so bad.
Do you guys mind if I do a quick shout out here?
Shout everybody out, dude.
Go for it, brother.
Stage is yours. Shout everybody.
Awesome. Anyway, okay. So I just want to say thank you to my wife, who none of this could happen without you. My business partner, Callie Jenkins, he's kind of like the silent partner, doesn't like a lot of the spotlight, but Callie, graphic designer, awesome friend, good partner. Can't do it without you. Sabola, Quiver Skate, you took this picture that's my awesome Zoom background. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. See you at Glory Hole next time. And everyone that supported me in OldBones Therapy, thank you.
Absolutely, dude.
Awesome.
Do you have any people that you're sponsoring? Who's the dude? Okay, here's what I want to know. Like, if you sponsor anybody, give them a shout out. And then I want to know about, there was you had a video on your YouTube of this dude that I thought was absolutely hilarious. Maybe it's you with the bleach blonde hair. I don't know, but it was like, there's a video of a dude, and he sits down, puts an ice pack on his shoulder. And I don't remember what the shtick was, but it was hilarious. There was a sticker on his nipple that got ripped off or whatever.
Oh my God.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. So you were talking about younger people earlier wearing our stuff. So that's Josh Rodriguez, professional skateboarder, young guy. I don't even know if he's in his 30s yet, but he is an amazing skateboarder. Anyway, he did a spaghetti Western video, right? Where he's putting on OldBones paint cream, whatever. I think he had an OldBones sticker on his nipple, but it's hilarious. It's on our Instagram page if you guys scroll back far enough. But yeah, so gosh, team riders, I have a huge list. I'm probably gonna forget a ton of people here, but let me just start. Jeff Hedges, Fedge, from the get-go. Our friends, Mike Parente, Geraldo, Parente brothers. I mean, God, there's so many people.
Shout out Mike Parente. We love
Shout
Mike
out
Parente.
Mike Parente.
Peter Fernay, huge supporter from the beginning. Derek Scott, who's an amazing skateboarder, snowboarder. Speaking of like wanting to quit and then like getting a message out of the blue, Bucky Lassick, dude, thank you so much. Rick Thorne, BMX guy, rips, ruling. Stay rad is his motto. I love it. Derek Krasauskas, DK, Jed Fuller, Cam Norn, Wyatt Wisenbaker, Johnny Miller, Scott Foss, Keith Meek, Ryan Endo. We got a ton, guys. Fred Blood out of nowhere sends us a message. I love your stuff. I'm all, dude, Fred Blood, what?
Yeah.
How cool is that? Like Eben Krakow, like you guys are.
Eben Krakow from Texas is dope. He's got a badass backyard ramp too. If you ever get a chance.
It's just, I don't know. The list goes on. I'm like, there's so many people I'm probably like missing here.
You're all good.
Jocelyn, Josh, BMX.
She shreds you guys.
Joe Doherty over at the BMX in Our Blood podcast. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. Huge supporter. Love that guy. Yeah, I'm sorry if I forgot anybody.
It happens, dude. It happens. We call it senior moments, and we all have them. I'm gonna make
CRS, but
I'm gonna throw Mike Cathcode out there as your next sponsor. You need to hook that kid up.
Oh, dude,
get him on the team. Get him on the team. He has his own deck. That's all I know about Mike and his skateboarding skills, other than he shreds. Okay,
she comes hang out at the pool.
We got your back, Mike.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
I'll visit your bowl, and you can come visit the Old Bones Bowl someday.
Where are you guys located?
I'm in NorCal, Bay Area.
Okay.
So we're currently in San Carlos, but we're going to be over on the coast, hopefully in the next couple of years after our house gets built. So Montera, which is just south of Pacifica.
Cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna shout out NorCal. I have NorCal tattooed on my neck. It says NorCal, not cats, but it looks like it says not cats, but it's NorCal on my neck. Anyway, Craig, Craig, thanks for hanging out tonight, dude. I appreciate the shit out of you. Thanks for being here, dude. Thanks for hanging out,
dude. Always.
Why don't you send us out? Can you do that for us?
I think I can do that, man. I think I can. Here we go. Everybody, thanks for tuning in to Big Bike BMX, man. We so appreciate you hanging out here. If you liked what you heard, if you thought this was cool, go check out OldBonesTherapy.com. Check out all their product. Get some of that stuff on you before you end up talking like Isaac and I and Mike and Brandon about how old and crickety and sore we are. Everyone, check us out on the streaming side of things over at Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and your favorite platforms that you like to listen to us on. Again, let's thank our sponsors, KnightBikeCompany, Etnies, Shoes, RideOutSupply. We've got PhoenixBikeCompany, we got CrushedMX, and we have Broke Boys out there. Always supporting us, and we want you guys to go check out their stuff and support them too. Again, thanks for being here.
JTRacingusa.
Thank you, Isaac. JTRacingusa. Brandon Fields from OldBones Therapy. Thank you, sir, for being here. Mike Hathcote, if I said it right this time. Thanks for being our special pro skater guest and friend of the show. We appreciate everyone for hanging out, man. Thanks again.
You guys, we appreciate the shit out of you. Thanks for hanging out. Leave a like, leave a comment. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. I hate saying smash because everyone says that, but gently click that like button, gently click that subscribe and hit the bell so you know when we have new stuff. If you're listening on the podcast side of things, give us a review. Apparently it does good stuff for you. I don't really follow how to grow a podcast, but you guys are following, you like us. So if you get a second, leave a review. Apparently that helps. I read somewhere online that does. So that's my ask of you. We appreciate you. Hang out, have fun, go ride your bike, go skate, get yourself some compression gear because it's going to change your life and make you not hurt, and you'll last longer. So anyway, have fun. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. Ba-ba-da-ba.